Hey, welcome back, everybody. I've got a wonderful study for us. Is the rapture on the Feast of New Wine? I don't know. Let's learn something about it. So, in the previous video, I laid the foundation that Moses was a bridegroom of blood to his Gentile bride Zipporah. Interestingly, in Deuteronomy 18:15, Moses said, "The Lord your God will raise up for you a prophet like me from among you, from among your countrymen. You shall listen to him." Well, we know that the prophet Moses was pointing God's people to was their Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus. Well, having that foundation laid is very important for today's video because we are in for a grand surprise. I want to talk to you about the Feast of New Wine. It was a hidden feast, and we didn't know much about it until the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Zadok priests had a group of disciples, and they taught them in the Qumran area, north of the Dead Sea. They used a solar calendar, which is why they were called sons of light, whereas the Pharisees used the lunar calendar and were called the sons of darkness. The Zadok priest's solar calendar reveals that the Feast of New Wine is held in the 5th month on the 3rd day. Oh, where have we heard about the 3rd day? It's kind of exciting, isn't it? So now, throughout the scriptures, God uses wine as a symbol for blood. New wine refers to new blood. Other adjectives that the scripture uses for new wine is fresh wine, sweet wine. So new blood is fresh blood, sweet blood. Isaiah 49:26 says, God says, "I will feed your oppressors with their own flesh, and they will become drunk with their own blood as with sweet wine." But now here's a New Testament verse that also reveals important symbolism about the blood. And it's from what Jesus said at the Last Supper. He took the cup of wine in Luke 22:20 and said, "This cup which is poured out for you is the new covenant in my blood." Well, there is a special feast called Feast of New Wine. And the events of this feast are hidden in the Old Testament. And even the New Testament, you'll be able to find them once you get a few details about this feast. The Feast of New Wine is a type and shadow of the rapture. Now, in additional videos, I can't give it all here in this one short devotional that I give, but I'll be making some more videos and adding to our education on this. And I find it fascinating. I hope you do too. So, there's a lot of treasures to find. Now, Zechariah 9:17 says, I love this, "For what comeliness and beauty will be theirs, grain will make the young men flourish, and new wine the virgins." Oh, now let's start connecting this with prophecy and connecting this with Jesus. When Jesus received his new body at the resurrection, he became the feast of new grain. Yeah, his resurrected body is very different than the body he came in when he was born. The Feast of New Grain is a feast held 50 days before the Feast of New Wine. And the Feast of New Oil is 50 days after New Wine. So you see, the Feast of New Wine is right in the middle. Now, I've lost my place here. All right, so Jesus' resurrected body is the Feast of New Grain. The bride will be the new wine. She just has not received it yet. But the scriptures reveal that we will, on an appointed day, receive new wine. Now, perhaps even this summer. In the next video, I'll start going over the calendar and help you to know when the Feast of New Wine falls on the Gregorian calendar. But I'm telling you, it's coming up. So heads up, we all need to be learning. Okay, now, right now, we have a problem. We are still in this body of leaven. The mere fact that we are still sinning and able to sin tells us we have not been, the leaven has not been removed from us. The Feast of Unleavened Bread has not been fulfilled. All right? We need to change our body. Well, what does Jesus say here? Luke 5:37. No one puts new wine into old wineskins. Otherwise, the new wine will burst the skins and it will be spilled out, and the skins will be ruined. But new wine must be put into fresh wineskins. Okay, so the Feast of New Wine is a type and shadow of the rapture, when we will get new bodies. It won't be a body of leaven, a body of sin. It'll be a sinless body, a fresh wineskin. And that fresh wineskin is for the new wine, the fresh wine, the sweet wine. So, on Rapture Day, the Father is going to give the bride that new wineskin and new wine, new blood. This is why Jesus said at the Last Supper in Matthew 26:29, I will not drink of this fruit of the vine until I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. So Jesus was telling us he will not celebrate the Feast of New Wine until we're up in our Father's kingdom with him. The true upper room. Oh. So, Jesus already received his fresh wineskin, his new body, on his resurrection day. So he is the Feast of New Grain. Jesus said in John 6:35, he says, I am the bread of life. Well, he is. And there's new grain to be had. Okay, now, think of this. After his resurrection, he was up in the upper room. And this time, Thomas was present. And Jesus said to Thomas, reach here your hand and put it into my side. And do not be unbelieving, but believing. Jesus said in Luke 24:39, he said to Thomas, see my hands and my feet, that it is I myself. Touch me and see. For a spirit does not have flesh and bones as you see that I have. He left out blood. Jesus said to Thomas, I have flesh and bones. He didn't mention anything about blood. You would think as important as blood is, why did Jesus leave that detail out? It's because Jesus needs new wine. Okay, I'm going to be connecting some dots here, just in a few moments here. Now, I want you to think of the 6 water pots at the wedding in Cana. Jesus turned the water into new wine because the wine had run out. Jesus poured out all of his blood at the cross. We're carrying that in our vessels now. Okay? But on Rapture Day, remember, that's when Jesus said, I will not drink of this fruit of the vine until I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. So on Rapture Day, the Father is going to supply the bride with her new wedding clothes, her new wineskin. And the Father's going to fill her with new wine, just like those 6 water pots. Because you see, Jesus is thirsty. He told us that. It was one of his last words he told us when he was on the cross. He said in John 19:28, I am thirsty. Wow. What did we give him to drink? The scriptures say what we gave him. Look at Matthew 27:34. They gave him wine to drink mixed with gall. and after tasting it, he was unwilling to drink. Wow. What is gall? Well, Strong's tells us it's a greenish hue. Bile. That's bitter. We gave him bitter wine when he was thirsty. Wow. The bride in her new wine skin and her new, fresh, sweet wine is going to be the Father's gift to his Son. You see, just like the rapture is a reward for those who are dedicated to the Father, Jesus has earned a reward also for being dedicated to his Father. The bride will be bringing Jesus new wine in her vessel because he is thirsty for new wine. We're going to be the reward for Jesus' faithfulness, obedience, dedication to the Father. Wow. I want to be that reward. Okay, I'm going to close this now. I really wanted to end this very worshipfully so that you can have maybe a time and have some communion, serve yourself communion as you're going back through the scriptures and reading this. I'm hoping that you'll share this video if it's been a blessing to you. And if you're on other servers or other social platforms, if you'd mention our channel, that would be so appreciated. Thank you. Okay. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.